Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap that notification bell and like this video. That helps me to keep making videos. I'd appreciate it majorly. So another individual has who was vacationing in the Dominican Republic has died, and very recently. Actually, he died today or Wednesday, just past midnight on the East Coast, and it's Thursday, but he died on yesterday, Wednesday. He became ill Sunday, the day he was supposed to fly home, and he actually had boarded his plane when they basically gave him no choice and made him disembark from the plane because he became he was sweating very badly and went to the bathroom to vomit and did, and I think at that point they forced him to get off of the airplane. He was taken to the hospital in Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic, and spent 3 days there before passing away yesterday. Wednesday. So the New York Post spoke to his sister-in-law, and I believe his daughter was with him on their vacation together, but she had already returned home. He's from Denver, Colorado. I don't know if his daughter is too, but she had already returned home, before he did, a day or two before, so I'm not real sure. So, but the New York Post, or maybe it's KDRV, spoke to his daughter-in-law, who struggled to, I think, because of the communication barrier, basically get answers on what his status was, and what was wrong with him while he was in the hospital in Santo Domingo. I think at some point somebody eventually put her in touch with a consulate that helped get her some information or get her some answers. But he did succumb to his illness, which they don't know what it is yet. I mean, they had actually, I believe his daughter or daughters had started a GoFundMe page yesterday asking for $20,000. I think at the time that they posted the GoFundMe account page, they were seeking the $20,000 to help get him home when he was still alive. That's how I understand it, but I'm not absolutely sure of that, because I think the authorities in the Dominican Republic gave the family the option, or just told them that they could try to get him, fly him home, medevac him home, but it would cost $20,000 to medevac fly him. I guess just him. I don't know if that's how that would be done by some kind of airplane. I don't think you can fly a helicopter that distance, from the Dominican Republic to the States, but I'm not real sure. I'm pretty sure it would just be some kind of small chartered airline, but it would cost $20,000. So, he died, according to preliminary reports, are that of he was had kidney failure and was having difficulty breathing. So a Denver dad. I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's 46 years old. Khalid Adkins. That's the individual right there. 46 years old. That's not old. A Denver dad was so sick that he was booted off his return flight from the Dominican Republic. It's not in any of the reports where he was staying prior to getting on his flight. Although that doesn't seem, because there's been multiple hotels now at this point. I mean, this started with the Bahia Principe, and it was multiple hotels even within that one chain. The one in La Romana is where it started. The report of the couple that died found dead in their hotel room, the Bahia Principe La Romana, but there was the Bougainville, the Bahia Principe in Punta Cana, the Hard Rock Hotel in Punta Cana, and there was other hotels. So, but it's not reported anywhere where he was staying before he got on the flight. So a Denver dad was so sick that he was booted off his return flight from the Dominican Republic and has spent the past 3 days there in critical condition, vomiting, alone, and screaming in pain in his hospital, his relatives said. This is actually before it was reported that he died. I guess it was. So, and this is from June 26th, which is yesterday, Wednesday at 11 a.m. I don't know what his time of death, but so he died later Wednesday, And as of this report, he hadn't even died yet. He said, Khalid Atkins became so ill on the trip with his daughter that he wasn't allowed to fly home Sunday, and he had been forced to stay on the embattled Caribbean island. He said, they pulled me off the plane and made me go to the hospital. His sister-in-law, Marla Strick, told the news station. Strick said Atkins was dripping sweat and went to the bathroom to throw up, and that's when they kicked him off the plane. His mystery illness comes as dozens of tourists have reported becoming sick on the island, where at least 11 Americans have died in the last year. Atkins was brought to a hospital in Santo Domingo, where doctors told the family he was in critical condition, according to the news station. His relatives said they haven't received an official diagnosis, but he's experiencing kidney failure and having trouble breathing. His legs started to swell, and that's why he couldn't get up. And he started sweating and vomiting, Strick, the sister-in-law, said. He is just yelling and in pain, so he couldn't talk to me. The hospital told the family they could try to get him dialysis on the island, or he could take a $20,000 medevac flight home. A GoFundMe page was launched to help try raise funds to get him back to the United States. We are trying anything to get him home, the page says. It is the most devastating thing ever. They said we can't medevac him home. That we can medevac him home, but it is $20,000. We are lost. It's a terrible nightmare. So, but he did pass away. He did die. A Denver father of two has died in mysterious circumstances in the Dominican Republic. Does it say that in the? No, it doesn't. So he did pass away, but there's not much more known beyond that. He had been vacationing with his daughter, was expected to fly back to the United States on Sunday, but suffered kidney failure before takeoff and had to be rushed to a hospital. The death is another devastating blow for the country. It says in the Daily Mail title that tourism has dropped by 74%, and I've seen figures of large, significant drop in tourism, future bookings for I think July and August, and also cancellations, but not quite that large. And actually, Delta Airline, it was reported earlier today, that they're allowing people to, with certain parameters, they're allowing people to cancel their bookings without incurring fees. I mean, like I said, there's certain parameters to it. It's not just it depends on certain things as well, on when they book their flight and so forth. But that's been reported, earlier today as well, which is a pretty significant thing. I'll read through that briefly if I have a moment to do so. So that's the individual right there, Khalid Atkins, 46 years old. And those are pictures with his daughter from the GoFundMe page, I believe, citing recent events in Punta Cana. A post, and that's about Delta Airlines, allowing people to cancel flights without incurring fees. Citing recent events in Punta Cana, a post to the company's advisories page confirmed that all flights to, from, and through Punta Cana International Airport will be covered by the waiver. I don't know where that begins, though. I think there's kind of just an error there. The death is another... No, I'm sorry. After Delta Airlines announced it would allow passengers to rebook or cancel their flights to the Dominican Republic without charge. So, there's not a whole lot more known about this individual's death, Atkins' daughter had already returned to Denver when her father fell ill, and family members say they struggled to communicate with the staff at the hospital, meaning they were unaware of the grave prognosis on Tuesday evening. He said his legs started to swell, and that's why he couldn't get up, and he started sweating and vomiting. He was just yelling and in pain. And then there was the girl who fell into the coma from Argentina, who's I think 15 years old. And actually, I think she's in a hospital in Santo Domingo. She was transferred to Santo Domingo because they didn't have the proper the equipment necessary for her treatment in the hotel in the hospital near where she was staying. So, but that's the story there, man. Another person has died who was vacationing in Santo Domingo. I mean, in the Dominican Republic. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to draw any conclusions, and you know, I think the authorities in the Dominican Republic continue to maintain that this is not any kind of extraordinary, mysterious deaths that are taking place. That these are just normal people that are dying from natural causes. They happen to be in the Dominican Republic when it happens. I don't know what the numbers are just yet. I mean, because this is kind of. I think the total number of deaths in 2018 were 14 for the entire year, I believe. Maybe I might not have that right. And you know, when you hear the reports of you know what count we're on in terms of persons that have you know been reported on and have died in the Dominican Republic, a lot of times they say in the last year, so they're not necessarily talking about 2019. So it's hard to get an accurate, you know, comparison. You know, although I will say that, you know, it's just recently in the last couple months, it seems as though, you know, it seems like there's a fair amount of people being reported about, you know, who were seemingly in good health before, who have died under strange circumstances or mysterious circumstances. You know, he's 46 years old. I mean, that's not an old man at all, at all. All right, well, that is the story there, man. That is the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.